Hello guys, Tops here. Today I want to talk about the Fencer and my thoughts on the Fencer. I made the build guide about how to build the Fencer. It's really simple. You're basically searching for a brother that has high defense, high attack and high initiative. And you use the fencing sword, and with the lunge attack you do damage based on your current initiative. So the prime characters for these, or the prime background for these builds are Oath Takers, because they have really high base stats, high base initiative, high base attack and defense, but still high resolve, high hit points, high fatigue. So you can just go Colossus and then all damage perks for the Fencer. And that's kind of the point. This is my Oath Taker run. We have currently the Oath of Wrath, so I have negative defense. This was my starting Fencer from the Oath Takers. If you know, the Oath Taker starting run basically gives you a brother who is triple star in initiative, 1 star in defense, 2 stars attack. So you basically get the Fencer candidate from the beginning of the game. And I initially wanted to make him Battleforge dodge, so I took 9 lives. This is the Fencer build where I do not have Pathfinder. He's huge, by the way, so he did huge damage. It's an absolute killer, 198 battles, 390 kills. Yeah, and my thing is like, the Fencer is so perk hungry that you kind of need more perks than you have. 10 perks is not good enough for them. And you have to cut things out. You have to cut stats out. You have to cut things out in order to make this build work. And in this, because I initially wanted to do a different build, I took 9 lives. And therefore I didn't have Underdog. I didn't have Pathfinder. Also, I didn't have Overwhelm. And these 3 perks are normally something I really like to go on the Fencer, right? And yeah, I didn't have them. And it felt weird. Not having Pathfinder is something like, it really limited my abilities to get in a good place, to flank. I like to flank with the Fencers, and in forest fights they couldn't flank. In snow fights they had problem. In desert fights they had problem. Like it was harder to get them in position. So yeah, the Pathfinder was really missing. And the 9 lives was nice though, because it kind of saved me once in a while when I got in trouble. Yeah, but still, like, Pathfinder would have been maybe better to get out of a bad situation. The problem is there are too many perks here that are just core. I can't skip Berserk, Duelist, Killing Frenzy, Nimble, not really Sword Mastery, because you really need that. Lunge is really expensive, costs a lot of fatigue to use if I don't have Mastery. Relentless is of course the way to go. By like pumping initiative, we have so much defense. And that's kind of like the thing where I thought like, maybe skipping dodge for something else is maybe nice. Like skipping defense is maybe something that you could do. Can't really skip your recover, because you want to Berserk recover after a couple kills. Yeah. The other Fencer, we found him on the way. That's actually one of the best Fencer candidates I've ever found. It's an Oath Taker with Dexterous. He had max roll 67 plus Dexterous 72, triple star attack. So if you want a 10 attack without gifted, level 15. Absolute beast. Still really good defense. It's 39 defense, 173 initiative. Really good Fencer. Again, he had Overwhelm. I wanted to build him right away into a Fencer, so I didn't skill 9 lives. And the Overwhelm made him really useful in these 1 versus 1 scenarios, where it's like, normally you get yourself in trouble when you are either out of position or you're in front of an enemy that you didn't kill. And this enemy is now about to hit you, because on a Fencer you always go attack, defense, initiative, you skill nothing else. You don't go for fatigue, hit points or resolve. So you tend to have low hit points, low resolve and low fatigue. So if you get hit with like from a big weapon, you can't really tank that many hits. You are a glass cannon. And if you find yourself in front of like a Chosen, an Orc Warlord, in a 1 versus 1 scenario, and now you're like, oh my god, I'm fucked if this guy hits me. So I found if you have Overwhelm, that diminished kind of like a lot of the danger that comes from like being alone by yourself on the flanks, fencing around, and then you're in front of a chosen. You're just going first, and you can at least double overwhelm him, so it's less likely that you get hit. And I think it's hard to skip dodge, but I think overwhelm might be a better thing than dodge on this build, and just going Pathfinder instead of dodge might be the way to go, because I really felt like without Pathfinder I had an insane struggle in a lot of fights to get these guys in a position, because it was fine when we were outnumbered with a lot of dangerous enemies, and I put my fencers kind of like in the back and let them run at the orc berserkers that were flanking my team. But in like these fights where my opponent has like a lot of ranged guys, like goblins, marksmen, or nomads, where it's like they just sit back and shoot at me, and I have to come to them. Like I've had a really hard time get them in position, because it's in the snow, it's in the desert, it's in the forest, and I can only walk 2 tiles without Pathfinder, and I was building up an insane amount of fatigue just from walking to my opponents. So I didn't have enough fatigue to lunge a lot of the times. So my thoughts on the Fencer is maybe skipping dodge and going for Pathfinder. It gives you extra fatigue for more lunges and attacks, but it also makes it easier for you to maneuver and get yourself in a good position, or maybe even outside of a bad position. Although dodge is kind of like still an insane perk. Like it's so much defense that you are giving up. It's like 20, even more, like 22 range and melee defense that you're giving up. So I don't know what the right choice here is, giving up something. Maybe it's even Colossus giving up some hit points in order to get better, but like, yeah. I don't know. I would be pretty interested in what you think, guys, about this and how you build your Fencer. I had the feeling that like Overwhelm was pretty nice, but I was really, really missing Pathfinder, and I really wish I had Pathfinder. But I don't know which kind of perk to skip. Alright, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. By the way, guys, I stream daily on Twitch and YouTube. You can join me there. And yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. Have a nice day, guys. Bye-bye.